Hey, what's up, Gemini? Welcome to another timeless general tarot reading. I'm going to be trying a different format for this cycle where I record myself directly, see what people think about that. I'll hold up the cards from time to time. Anything that drops, I'll hold up for you. And there's not going to be really a pattern to this reading. It's just going to be, I'm going to take whichever cards come out and see what happens. I'm not going to try and stick to any structured forms of taking the cards. So let's see what we can get for you. Alright, so these two were quite willing to come out, and very interesting. You got the Star and you got the Emperor. So that's not a bad combo. Not Gemini energy, unless this, I think the Star is Aquarius energy anyway. Very stable, very indicative of your manifestations matching what you're desiring, and those things actually coming through for you. And the Emperor showing that generates some kind of stability. So, a very empowering pair of cards here. They definitely signify achieving your will, getting what you want, stabilizing your experience around being able to desire things properly. So here we go, another card, Six of Swords. So not only are we having the hope of the Star and the Emperor, but it seems to be affording you the ability to move on in certain ways. So, very flowing energy. It's stable yet capable. It's successful manifestation, confidence in being able to move forward. And naturally, when you have that success, you can move forward differently with yourself. You don't have to, it wasn't a waste of your energy. So that's pretty powerful. And with swords, we do get some Gemini energy. It would be interesting to see if the Lovers will come out here at some point. Well, I just had this fall out, so and you've got the Wheel of Fortune now too. So very strong. Very strong. The Star, the Emperor, the Wheel of Fortune all in the upright. Very much about flow. Flowing through. Like, you're not managing to block your way very easily. You're managing to actually kind of flow with the universal rhythm. Your hopes are achieved. Your stability is achieved. Your ability to continue moving forward, not become complacent, is achieved. And then even fate's kind of at your back. Even the wheel of fate is churning it up for you here. Like, a lot of energy of success, as I would describe it anyway. If your idea of success is your desires coming true and your life stabilizing so you can continue to move on to greater and greater things like the universe intended and is helping you, then sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. These three are a little tricky though. So I'm going to show you these three just because. So after I was saying that, this is what flipped out for you. The Tower, King of Cups reversed, Page of Pentacles reversed. That's an extreme devolution from where this was going. Because this is like overconfidence leading to some kind of travesty. And you taking it very toxically. So just because I said everything is going great, don't get complacent enough to call a Tower moment in and then get really emotional and disappointed in me about it, because you still have to take all the proper steps, but you can't take it for granted. But this energy I'm seeing here, your original four, that's all pointing towards doing the right things. So probably very validating for some of you to hear this, if it's true for you. And it'd be really cool to achieve this energy if it's your goal, if it's what you're looking for. It's actually pretty powerful for for 5 minutes of reading. Having this much major arcana is pretty good. It's all in the right position. Not much air energy. I'm a little surprised, I suppose. See if I can find anything else here. Okay, so okay, that was 4. 4, and it's a little muddled energy-wise. I am going to very likely switch decks here pretty soon. So these two wanted to come out. See what we've got. High Priestess, Knight of Wands reversed. That's like a little bit of salacious energy. It's like definitely energy of, it's like toxic, but a rare kind of toxic energy that can get you what you want. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but that's sort of what I'm seeing here. It's like the High Priestess indulging in this Knight of Wands reversed energy is usually for a very particular reason, and it's because there's some kind of toxicity that makes them feel very deeply. It's kind of strange. Even though the High Priestess is in the upright, so very interesting. Let's see what these two are. Knight of Cups reversed, Queen of Pentacles. Maybe sort of an evolution. An evolution of sorts. Grasping a different quality for sure. Knight of Cups reversed. That's very susceptible energy to being manipulated in an emotional sense. It can be. The energy can toxify pretty hard. The Queen of Pentacles is a little bit more stable in that emotional aspect. Her emotions are more about, it's like the results of emotion, not not just feeling anything. It's not as much about the emotions themselves, like the Knight of Cups. It's more about the emotions validating that she's done the right things to stabilize her experience. So it's like the emotions are just keys to her success, whereas the Knight of Cups is like the feelings just are very, very important. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so we're closing out 7 minutes here. I think I'm going to switch decks. I'm not really getting anything super clear for the rest of those. Those first 4 came out pretty quick, and they're pretty clear, so let's see if we have anything clear for my other deck. Okay, so these 3 are poking out. Let's see what these are then. Almost 4, actually. I'll take a look, but if it's like not clear, I'm not going to take them. Really mixed. The only thing I could say, once again, every once in a while when these extra cards come out, it's like, it's pointing to complacency. So, a lot of warnings of complacency, because the first part of the reading was so powerful that if you take it for granted, you will lose it in some respect. So, keep an eye on that. Don't lose your powerful sense just because I say you have things aligned for you. Don't fall into some paralysis. Or you're not going to, you know, it's just not who you are. It's not who you're going to feel like becoming necessarily. It'll strike you as an accident is the problem. So it's something you just got to watch out for. So far, it's still just basically a validation reading. Somebody's it's just validating that you're of high quality. So this kind of wants to come out. And it was trying to come out in that other flip too, so I'm going to take it. 3 of Pentacles. So that's pretty cool because it kind of points me to the idea that like succeeding and excelling in your career is very important, and that's where your hopes come true, and that's where your stability comes from. And in the upright, it's a good sign that you can succeed. And if you have like all of these qualities, it makes it easier to succeed in this setting. So whatever you're trying to achieve with other people collaboratively, the energy is there for you to be a strong contributor to that process. And you even have the 6 of Swords, so there's a little bit of an undertone of, if you even need to, you're willing to find the place where you can express these things properly and achieve these things properly. So very cool, very validating reading for a Gemini. A lot of my older Gemini readings were like very much about Gemini dissociation and Gemini duality, blocking their energy. So seeing all of this upright energy is very good, because a lot of times my Gemini videos are sifting through that duality and that anxiety, like not serving them really. Not so much in this one. In this one, you seem to have it all together, which is pretty cool, because not all Geminis have that luxury of having, you know, dealt with their weird divisive, anxious. I'm kind of missing the correct word for it, but that divided. What's that? Oh, the duality, the Gemini duality. So, all right, I'm gonna do a couple more shuffles here, and then I'm probably gonna call this because it's been pretty clear. It's been pretty strong. We're at 10 minutes. And the other thing I've been trying to do is keep down the links to my videos. Dang, and look at that on the split. You got the Emperor. So another Emperor stability and the World on the bottom even. So it's like World Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, double Emperor. Geez, you'd think this was an Aries reading, but not quite. You might have a lot of Aries in your chart, even though you're Gemini. Which Aries, your base Aries energy, or your base, sorry, I even accidentally said your base Aries energy. So maybe you've got a bunch of Aries. What I was going to say is your base Gemini wind energy actually sort of fans that, well, the Emperor is an embodiment of a lot of energies, but it sort of fans forth that Emperor fire. So it could be something that's in your process. It's very interesting. And look at this. So these two just flipped out, and one of them is, once again, it's the Six of Swords again. So you've now got double Six of Swords going on. Oops, sorry. And you also had the Queen of Swords flip out with that. So finally, that's actual Aries, or sorry, I said Aries again. I keep saying the Emperor and saying Aries. So Queen of Swords, that is actually Gemini. And in the upright, this actually represents Gemini. So you could be a Gemini feminine. Whoops, let me put this back here. You could be a Gemini feminine. It matches your air quality. It's in the upright, which matches your other energy, so it's in a dignified fashion. The Queen of Swords can, even in the upright, be a little critical, a little harsh, perhaps, which is something that is, unfortunately, it's going to assist in this Three of Pentacles success, because she can cut through all the stuff that's going to limit the success, basically. And she actually has she's a very good quality for achieving this group success, because she can, it sounds a little harsh, but she won't let how other people feel get in the way of vocalizing what's true and what's correct and what's holding the group back and what is necessary to achieve true success. So, in a certain way, a solid conquering of fear to actually be able to say those things. Another sign that you have good control of your Gemini duality, because you aren't letting the anxiety get you down. You aren't like, there's not a lot of cards here of your, like if I saw Three of Pentacles in reverse and Queen of Swords in reverse, that would be pretty straightforward. It's toxic energy is blocking it. But since you've got the Queen of Swords in the upright and everything else is in the upright, it's like, it's just suggesting to me that that's part of where your quality of success comes from, is the mind over heart, so to speak, the leading with rationality despite the feminine energy. And it's the Queen of Swords, it's a very divisive energy in the upright, very divisive. It can be a little critical. It can rub people the wrong way because it's not as emotionally based as typical feminine energy. Is the least emotionally based of the least emotionally based of the typical feminine energies. There's a lot of mental energy in this particular feminine quality, but that will lead to more success in these group endeavors, because the criticality will come out when it's required, and not just being critical, but there's a lack of fear of being constructive and saying the constructive things. So you might even be a leader, double Emperor, or not double Emperor, but Emperor and then the Emperor on the split. The Star of the Wheel of Fortune, and then you also have the double Six of Swords, which is a sign of you moving on to new things, and it's a lot of wind energy. So you're not afraid to cut ties when it's not working out for you anymore, and you're used to that even. And it's like the Wheel of Fortune's even at your back, so even the universe and higher source wants you to be expressing these qualities properly. It's there to grease the wheels of you finding success in this fashion. It's your quality. So, and you're very comfortable in doing that, which is very cool, because like I said, there's other times where Geminis do not have it sorted out. and a lot of the cards are about them having to sift through like indecision, and you have that stamped down differently here. And so, you know, very envious position for Gemini to be in compared to some others. So it's pretty cool to see that for you. I think I'm going to call the video here at 15 minutes, and this energy looks really good. So thank you for being here, Gemini. I hope this helped. It's very validating reading, whomever you are. I almost envy you. I think technically I do envy you, but I try not to envy, so I won't envy you, but a part of me envies you for having this all situated, because it leads to, you know, stability in your life and a well-being of your conscience. That obviously matters to you, because your Emperor stability matters to you, and your ability to move on and succeed when necessary matters to you. So very cool. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you were here to see this. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one, and take care.